Hey, yo, what's decent? Yo, I got a crazy battle that I want to showcase to you guys. Let's get this going, man. I'm going to lead out with my Solomons, and my opponent's going to lead out with Conkeldurr. Now, it's quite obvious that Conkeldurr holds Ice Punch, so idealistically speaking, I think my opponent's going to want to go for the knockoff, hence my switch out into Gallade, so I can get a nice little Justified boost, but instead he goes straight for the Ice Punch, and not only that, but it's like the anime, he freezes me. It's like, what? Hello? In the anime, every time you use Ice Punch, you freeze the opposition. So I'm like, alright, let me just go and execute a little anime sequence of my own, Mega Evolve and break the ice, but that doesn't happen as he switches in his Landers. I'm just going to switch out into Doterra. Hopefully he doesn't go for the U-turn right away. He does go for the rocks, which also prompts me to go for my rocks. Now my Doterra also has the light screen, which would, without the life orb, enable it to live an ice beam coming from a Greninja, but Greninjas obviously carry the life orb. But I thought that he was going to probably go out into anything else but the Ferrothorn, but switching out to Ferrothorn made me think that he's gonna go instead of spikes as opposed to going for the T-Wave and or the Gyro Ball, and he does just that, as that actually enables me to switch into my Delphox and go for the Mystical Fire because my Delphox is not holding any item. I can steal whatever comes in. It happens to be Sylveon, so not only do I lower its special attack, but I also grab its leftovers, so that's great too. What I'm gonna decide to do, since my Gallade is frozen, I'm just going to go for the Will-O-Wisp, which would prompt the Sylveon to go for the Heal Bell. So while he does that, I get a free switch into Sylveon because my Sylveon doesn't have that many switch-ins on the majority of his party. So now I could goad him to using Heal Bell and switch out to my Sylveon and heal my frozen Gallade. Jesus. And now my toxic Delphox there, but that doesn't happen. He switches into his Conkeldurr, which is great too, as long as this thing doesn't have Poison Jab. I think that's something that I was contemplating running on the Conkeldurr. I mean, I'll probably like switch out and then afterwards, maybe on the second or third turn, probably reveal that I do have the Poison Jab, but that was something that I actually was considering running myself. He switches into Beedrill, and I'm like, you know what, I have to sacrifice my Doterra. I don't want my Sylveon dying just yet because it does happen to have the Wish as well as the Heal Bell, can inflict some potential damage, as well as me having the rocks up. Beedrill would have limited amount of switch-ins onto the turns that it could come in, so my Doterra dies, and then now in comes my Mence. My Mence is scarfed, so I didn't really want to reveal that yet, but I have no choice at this point because a lot of my Pokemon on my party take a lot of damage from adaptability. Beedrill, that is crazy, man. That thing is a scary threat, so he's gonna bring in this Conkeldurr. I locked myself into Fire Blast just in case he happened to want to switch into Sylveon to block the Draco Meteor as well. I really want to go for the Draco Meteor, as well as his Ferrothorn still being active. So he goes for the knockoff, destroying Delphox, and I thought about it. I'm like, you know what, I probably should have just went out to Gallade. I second guessed it. I'm like, no, he's gonna probably want to go for the Ice Punch again, and either way, even if he went for the knockoff, that would have been detrimental to my Solomons because my Solomons is scarfed and I definitely need that. So now in comes Ferrothorn, so I'm thinking like, yo, I got the upper hand because I have the substitute as well as a bird inflicted onto it. So Gyro Ball is not going to be inflicting anything onto me, especially since I have HP investments, but I could not be more incorrect. It destroys my substitute, and not only that, I go for the Drain Punch, don't even knock it out, as opposed to having like the close combat, because I do have the substitute and, you know, I dwindled down my own HP, so I need something to get it back. But Gyro Ball destroys me despite it being bird. It just completely like disregards the fact that it's bird. I cannot believe how easily it destroyed Mega Gallade like that. So I bring in my Rotom, and as opposed to having the Volt Switch, or actually using the Volt Switch and or having the Will-O-Wisp, I decide the last minute to use Reflect. Now Reflect is great in this case scenario because it actually allows me to deal with threats that otherwise would not be favorable to Rotom. For instance, this Assault Vest Conkeldurr. Now he goes for Ice Punch and he freezes me again. It's like the anime, man. Every time he uses Ice Punch, he just freezes the target. That is bananas. So now I switch on to Sylveon. I make a hasty switch out of that too. He goes to the knockoff as opposed to switching. Thank the Lord. So now that actually allows me to go for the Heal Bell and unthaw my Rotom, which is great. So he goes to the Ice Punch again. Reflect is still up, enabling me to get a nice little Wish, as opposed to not being able to do that, because in that case scenario, if I did not have the Reflect up, I would not be able to recover my HP as I was able to do so just right now. So I go for the hyper voice, and that enables me to finish off the Conkeldurr there. Now in comes Greninja, and I'm like, you know what? I don't have any safe switches for Gunk Shot. I'm just gonna have to stay in, probably go for the Wish, but that's great that he actually misses, because what that enables me to do is switch right out to Rotom, take the Gunk Shot, and recover all of my hit points back, since Sylveon has 252 in HP. That is... what? That is nuts. Not only that, but Greninja also inflicts some more damage onto itself thanks to the Life Orb, so that's great that that did happen. So now in comes the Sylveon, as I did predict him to switch out into that specifically, which that is actually hindering me from doing what I really want to do later on with the Salamence, because it is a fairy type to a dragon type. So I have to get rid of that if I really want to win. I did take away his leftovers, and not only that, but it's burn, and I'm faster, so I'm able to knock it out. In comes the Beedrill. Even if he switched into Beedrill, the Hyper Voice, I mean, it would have done some significant amount of damage, which actually enables me to switch out into my Mence and finish it off. But that's my whole ideal anyway, was to switch out into Mence and lock myself into Hydro Pump, since Beedrill has already taken significant amount of damage from the Cellfrost. He brings in the Landorus. I go for the Hydro Pump. I'm like, alright, I'm about to destroy this thing handily, man. And Hydro Pump connects, but it does not finish it off. So imagine if he stayed in with Beedrill, allowed Beedrill to die, and then in comes the Landorus, and then Landorus was able to live the Hydro Pump like that. I would have been super surprised, and then Greninja just sweeps. What? Who would have thought that? I bet you that crossed none of our minds right there when you saw Hydro Pump at all. So I'm just going to switch into the Rotom right now. Rotom takes the Gunk Shots, and afterwards I'm just going to switch in my Mence to go for the Draco Meteor, since when Beedrill comes in, it'll take a significant amount of damage, which will be about like at 25%, as well as Greninja being frail, not being able to take the Draco Meteors, and all I really have to do is hit my Draco Meteors. If luck is on my side, please allow me to hit a 90% accurate move, please. Jesus. So the first Draco Meteor connects. Greninja's out of the way, and all that needs to do is just hit my secondary Draco Meteor. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so about to lose this game if Beedrill just happens to, you know, be in the anime again and dodge all those hits and just come right from behind and hit me with a poison jab, but that does not happen. Beedrill gets sucked in the face by a Draco Meteor. I'm able to claim a good game right there, 1-0. So I definitely did have a lot of fun. Viewers, if you did enjoy this video, please drop a like, and if you guys want to see more content like this in the future, please subscribe to me. It's awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Peace. What you doing?